right, so you've got leaky gut. So what's the issue then if you have leaky gut to your immune system and inflammation? What's that connection there?
Yeah. So furthering our story of how we're getting from leaky gut to type 1 diabetes is when you have things leaking through that barrier and being exposed to your immune system there. Your immune system, like I said before, it says, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Get out of here. We're going to try and kill you now. And when that starts occurring over and over and more frequently, your immune system kind of goes, into attack mode and just wants to attack anything that looks even remotely foreign, because it's just there's so much coming at it that it's not used to seeing. And so a lot of those things that are getting in, whether that's from the diet or other things, sometimes can look enough alike some of your tissues in your body, and therefore your immune system will start attacking those specific tissues because it looks enough like a foreign invader that was coming in. And so it's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here either, and we're going to start attacking you as well.
Yeah. So essentially, with the walls breaking down, the bounce are gone, the junction's bigger, more permeability, allows more things up. And that's when that immune system interacts with it and starts
Mm-hmm.
doing that attack. So if you have more permeability, more bigger things to get through. And so when you eat, ultimately, a lot of that should be going into your body anyways.
Mm-hmm.
However, if it doesn't have the proper amount of time to digest, if it doesn't make it through enough of your intestines, if it's not, you don't have enzymes, whatever have be, if that molecule that's not ready to go to your body is allowed to go there through this breaking, and the bouncer is not there to interact with your immune system and start attacking it, that's the biggest issue. So for argument's sake, you could eat a hot dog, and a hot dog is a bad example for you because you're going to just shake your head at it. But if you are able to have a hot dog without any inflammation, that's because you're supposed to digest it fully and properly, and all its components. I don't know why I'm thinking about hot dogs, probably because baseball's back, but all the components of the hot dog should be broken down and transported through the intestinal wall and then into your blood at a size and shape where your immune system doesn't think of it as foreign. And then if it does, that's because it's too big. And so what's going on? This isn't a hot dog bun. This is something crazy, and it's just a hot dog bun but bigger. But your
Yeah.
immune system doesn't know that. It just thinks about it in parts.
Yeah. So essentially, to kind of sum that up, essentially, when you're digesting your food, it should be getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller,
Mhm.
via enzymes and chewing and all that stuff until it's at those amino acids. And essentially, you're going to be absorbing those smaller components like amino acids in, and that's what's supposed to get in. So if you're digesting really well and you even have maybe some leaky gut, but it's still at that small component, well, your immune system wants that. So it's going to take that in and it's not going to think
Mhm.
anything of it. But if you're getting things that are coming through that are bigger, like bigger proteins that are multiple amino acids long that aren't supposed to be coming in, your immune system's
Mhm.
like, hey, this isn't supposed to be here. And now we're going to start attacking it.
Right. So, all right. Well, that's fine. Let's say somebody listens to this and accepts this, right? Or we tell this to our patients, they're like, makes sense, but how does the autoimmunity happen? Where my immune system attacks it, it is foreign. It's not supposed to be there. So it
Mm-hmm.
tries to tag it to get destroyed. So somebody might think, how does that lead to type 1 diabetes? What's that connection then?
Yeah. So there's a couple different hypotheses out there. I
Mhm.
think the one that I think about the most, or what I use it the most as far as describing to patients, is kind of the molecular mimicry,
There
where
you go.
essentially your immune system starts thinking, or it looks. So let's say we have a piece of hot dog that comes in, that's bigger than it should be.
I got Grady to talk about hot dogs. Continue.
So a piece of hot dog that comes in that's bigger than it should be, and your immune system starts attacking it. So it's creating antibodies and antigens, or sorry, antibodies against that. And so now those antibodies are going to be triggering anything that looks remotely like that, for your immune system to start attacking. So for different people, that's different systems. For us as type 1 diabetics, that ends up being our pancreas. So our pancreas starts to look enough like something that's getting in, as that's your immune system is tagging it as foreign. And then it's like, okay, we got to start attacking this now because this isn't supposed to be here anymore.
Mm-hmm. And so then you actually then develop those antibodies for that tissue.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a hot dog, and this is all, an example. There is no study that says hot dog leads to beta cell, pancreatic islet cell antibodies, but maybe there is. I don't know. But
Maybe the bun part.
um, so you have the antibodies to the bun, and then the bun looks like the beta cells, and then your memory cells, the memory part of your adaptive immune system, then starts to create more antibodies that look like that, which end up
Mm-hmm.
being that tissue type. So maybe I already said, pancreatic islet cell antibodies, and then
Mm-hmm.
you start having those more and more, and then you have these antibodies that your immune system will see and start to get tagged and start to attack those tissue types. So there's actually an animal study article that came out, I believe, in like June, July of 2019, that we won't talk about, but we can link it. It actually had all these steps in an animal model of leaky gut, intestinal permeability, and then upregulation of immune system and antibodies and type 1 diabetes, all in the same paper of mice and rats. And it was like, it was funny because I literally saw it, I think, the day after it came out without an alert. I was just like
Oh
on
yeah.
PubMed just reading anyways, and then I was like, this was yesterday. And it was just kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so that's the step, and that's the thought, is that with more intestinal permeability, your immune system will be up higher, and with a more agitated and aggravated immune system, the likelihood of autoimmunity and in this case type 1 diabetes is higher.
Mm-hmm. Yep.